Governor Ayodele Fayose, joins me in the studio. He says he has a lot of revelations on how the military was used in that particular election. I understand that he was one of those who gave testimonies at the military investigation into the particular election there and the role of the military. He joins us now in the studio on Sunday Politics. Thank you so much for joining us on the program.
Good evening, Shane. Good evening, viewers.
Let me start by asking you. You were a former secretary. You were the secretary of the, you are still the secretary?
Yes, we are in court. I'm still the secretary, but I was still the secretary.
So I understand you were dismissed. You were.
No.
That I have evidence to that you were dismissed from the PDP. And if I may just read out to you the letter of your dismissal from your expulsion. That's what the letter dated November 5, 2015.
November 5, 2015. Written by who?
Written by the National Organizing Secretary.
Go and check our constitution. That's Mustafa now. He was the one that did even the primaries for us. That's Mustafa. I know him very well.
Are you still a member of the PDP?
Yes, I am. And I'm not leaving PDP.
Okay.
I told Fayose to his face, I won't leave PDP for him because I brought him into PDP. I was the 2011 Ekiti Central 1 House of Rep candidate, general election, when Fayose was in Labour, doing Senate. So we contested against each other. I brought him with Right Honorable Femi Bamishile, I brought him into PDP, I got him the State Congress, I was the secretary, because we agreed that he said he would want to be governor, and I told him, you want to be governor, I want to be chief of staff. And the Right Honorable Femi Bamishile said he would want to be the deputy governor. And we saw with the Holy Bible thrice with a sitting senator in our presence then.
Who is the sitting senator?
Duro Fasheji, Senator Duro Fasheji.
Just before we dig into those facts, I need you to.
You can't send me away from the PDP.
Hold on, I need you to clear your name because this letter states
it's not from the secretary, neither is it from the chairman.
This is the logo of your party, the signature of Abubakar Mustafa.
It is not from the secretary, it is not from the. I know so much about the constitution. So we use the constitution for Fayose. We use it for him for the primaries. Even when the consensus were fighting against us, you could remember Right Honorable Kola Adefemi, the pioneer speaker of the Ekiti State House of Assembly. So I know what I'm talking about when we are talking about PDP.
You were also, I understand that you sued for the PDP.
Yes.
You gave testimonies of the fact that the elections were.
That was in the lower tribunal. That was in the lower tribunal.
And what were those things that you said?
No, they asked whether the military printed, and I said no. And I said no because we had an agreement. It's unfortunate that Fayose is not here because we had an agreement. Fayose said we should lose Bamidele's word, MOD's word, so as to be able to buttress what we are about to do, and then we should lose Ishon for Fayemi.
Well, it looks like things are no longer good between you and Mr. Fayose because from what you are saying, it showed so much that you and Governor Fayose were very close. We were
very close. I've been with him in the last 40 years. So I was his chief advisor. I was chairman government advisory committee in his first term. I was jailed for 3 months in his first term with the PA, Chief Okondo, Chief Omolafe that died immediately after, immediately after the incursion into, because we did an incursion into the Federal High Court so as to be able to swear him in.
So you participated in the incursion?
Well, he come from Ghana and we did it. So
you participated in the
incursion? No, I won't say that. But he monitored and we executed.
You were there on that very day?
Yes, I was there.
Okay, tell me more about this matter of the election. Was the election rigged?
Yes.
How do you mean?
Before the primaries. You know, we are 4 and 5. Before the primaries.
You mean you are 4 and 5 with
Fayose?
Governor Fayose?
Yes, Governor Fayose. Before the primaries, we had this belief that because Jonathan was coming out for second term, and because we are going to be the first election in the Southwest. So, at a meeting, we told him that Northeast, North West, and North Central may not be too sure for you because the Hausas are clamoring for presidency. And that you now have Southeast and South-South. You must manage the Southwest. And it was on the basis of that that we told him that he must manage Southwest. So because of that, because of his interest, and because of after winning the primaries, even before winning the primaries, we did so many security reports to tell Mr. President then, Goodluck Jonathan, doctor, that he must make sure that we manage Southwest zone. And it was because of that that he gave us the head of the security agencies. That's the Minister for State for Defense, Obanikoro, and Minister for Police Affairs.
So that was the arrangement. It was an arrangement to get.
Because we know that APC was everywhere in Southwest. And we must naturally capture part of Southwest. If we want to balance what our brothers in the North were likely to bring down. And it's just about strategy.
So that was a strategy you
yes,
said.
And that was why President Jonathan bought into it.
And that was why you, according to you, the former Minister Obanikoro was appointed.
Yes.
And you were saying
that responsibility. Yes.
Okay, now tell me, you were at the tribunal to say that the election was not rigged. At the lower tribunal.
I didn't say that. They asked me a question. They asked so many questions. And because I was the closest to Gov Fayose, I was the principal witness immediately after the election. I was the principal witness. That is to tell you that the genesis from is coming into the party, is hijacking the party through Right Honorable Femi Bamishila and myself, and then doing his waiver. I did his waiver for him, single-handedly, with the help of Senator Guruji and NWC there. And we were also the ones, I went to Ibadan and signed 12 affidavits so as to remove the Southwest Expo put there by President Obasanjo, because we know that Segun Oni, Onilola, and who was there, Bode Mustafa, they were all with Obasanjo, and they would not allow us to go for primaries because they were moving the idea of consensus. So we had to go to court, and we got the judgment, pushing them aside and putting the President Adeyoju, the National Auditor, the National Secretary, and we put Filani there initially.
So you were saying that the election was rigged?
Yes.
The election in Ekiti?
Yes.
The 2014 governorship election?
Yes, it was rigged systematically.
How?
I will now explain it to you. We had a meeting that we asked for security and funds at Asoro, and we were given security and funds.
So you were there?
Yes, I was.
Who were the other people there?
Initially, it was just the CNC, Moazu, Fayose.
The former NSA?
The former NSA was not in attendance. It was Moazu. It was a small meeting.
The PDP chairman?
Yes.
Former PDP chairman?
Former PDP chairman.
Okay.
It was a small meeting. And President Jonathan agreed that, okay, if I will need Ekiti, and you are very good. I've heard all the reports saying that you are good, you can deliver. Okay, we will support you. That was the first meeting. The second meeting was more about, that was immediately after the primaries. Immediately after the primaries in March, the meeting, yes, in March. It was there that we had Obanikoro, Jalili was minister then.
Jalili Adesina?
Yes. Senator Yola Ushore. It was a combination of...
Where was this meeting?
It was in the villa. It was a combination of Osun and Ekiti people. And basically at that meeting, they were just saying, how are we going to move on to take the Southwest? So we did, at that stage, we did not do anything illegal at that stage. But before primaries, His Excellency Adele Fayose said that we can only win using the military. So it was, then we now came up with a plan. That was about May. I will ask you to now show a slide.
Okay, okay, just a moment. Do you realize, Dr. Aluko, that these things that you are saying are very strong?
They are very strong, I know. And because I'm telling the truth, and I'm not saying it because of anything. I'm saying it because we should know that there are loopholes in these democratic structures.
Because
that we are
of
talking
someone
about.
who is close and some of these somewhat very private meetings that you have, does this not look like a betrayal of trust?
He betrayed me first.
How do you mean?
we saw by the Bible, he betrayed God. So what are we talking about? Fayose betray people anyhow?
Well, I mean, because some of the
did he not betray
some of the things I know that you are very close to him, and in fact I hear.
Did you now tell you that he betrayed Obanikoro too?
Hold on for a minute. How did he betray?
Yes, with direct question. I can tell you. I can tell you what happened a day before the election of Osun, because we were supposed to move the template to Osun State, but Koli rattled on us, and because Koli rattled on us, we had to come back, and because of that, we could not. And of course, Governor Alegbe was also like a militant, and he was making so much noise.
Those are very strong words.
Yes,
those are very strong
I'm
words.
sorry.
Yeah,
I'm sorry. I said he was like, I mean, he stood his ground, not as if he stood his ground, and he was making so much noise that we could not go through again with that. I know what transpired between Alegbe and Governor Fayose at a particular hotel. I know what exchanged. He betrayed the mission at the end of
You say you swore by the Holy Bible.
Yes.
On what? For what?
On the agreement that we had before we embarked on the venture.
What venture?
This political venture that we are talking about. He becoming the governor, myself becoming chief of staff, and the Right Honorable Femi Bamishile becoming the deputy governor.
So a lot of people have said that you were, even at that time, being called the chief of staff.
Yes, I was also the chief returning officer for that particular election.
But this,
I was the chairman, security and intelligence.
There are thoughts,
coordinator of
Tope Aluko. There are thoughts that this betrayal, so to say, is because he did not get what he wanted.
No. Because he offered me other things. In fact, I paid 2.5 million to go for House of Rep. You know, I was the 2011 House of Rep candidate for PDP. I paid again in 2014. In 2014, I obtained a form. He said, no, I will be in quote. That's how he put it. I'm sorry if I'm going to be quoting him. He said, I will be MOB to fire me. That's how he put it. And I said, what's the meaning of that? He said, I will be too powerful and I will come down to challenge him. And I said, so you want me to remain in Ekiti and stay with you? Or what are you saying? You didn't give me what you promised and I want to walk away. Immediately after that, he now moved again. And I said, look, I won't take this from you. I won't. And I walked away. I went back to Ibadan, Lagos, doing my business.
Okay. Tell me, you were talking about how the election was rigged. Was the military in any way complicit in this case? Because there was a particular report on the board set up to make inquiries into the role of the military. I will quickly just go through what the military did to find out exactly what the role of its officers were in that particular election. And just recently, on January the 11th, there was the report was released, and these are some of the result of the report to show the role of officers in the Ekiti and Osun governorship election. Let's take a look at some of those people who gave testimonies at that particular. These are some of the recommendations of the board to the Nigerian Army. 2 officers for compulsory retirement, 3 officers to lose their commands, 9 for prosecution, 9 officers also to be further investigated by the FCC, 6 officers to face an audit committee, 62 officers. They are all there. And these are the recommendations of the board to the Nigerian Army. And there are several people, over 60 military officers were asked to give testimonies. I understand that you were there.
Yes.
And that is it. Yeah. 23 officers were caught, over 100 soldiers, and over 60 civilians were caught. Yeah. You were one of the over 60 civilians. Yeah. What was it that you said?
When you look at that report, and we are not in a war period, you will know that for the military to give such indictment to their personnel means that what I'm saying is right. And do you know what? When you're talking about a governor is a lieutenant colonel rank, and they're talking about 8 generals being sacrificed because of what? Because of election of a state. And you're talking about 60. I stood beside Koli when he was doing that recording. I didn't know he was doing the recording. Because
so you were in that meeting?
Yeah, yes.
You were in the meeting of the leaked audio?
Yes.
Of some of the reports that we did earlier?
Was told that I was coming and going.
So the report, that leaked audio is true?
Because it happened on Wednesday or Thursday when they stopped Her Excellency Mrs. Fayemi coming from Mission. They stopped at Oje Junction. and they stopped her for 1 hour. And Governor Fayose then was making so much noise from Ishon, his Ishon residence, to a top brass somewhere. And the person now called Brigadier General Momo and asked him what has happened. It was at that junction that Gov Fayose now called, Brigadier Momo now released Mrs. Fayose, and it was at that junction that Gov Fayose now called for Momo. And Momo came in at about 8 p.m. or so. And we had that meeting. In fact, Senator Yola was very right.
You were talking.
It was not a scheduled meeting.
It was a.
Yes, they were just in the middle room of Gov Fayose's wing.
Okay, tell me. You were talking about the role of the military, and you told me before we had this conversation about strike teams.
Yes.
Who were these strike teams?
They were a mixture of DSS, military, MOPO, and yes, that's about all.
Okay, if we could just show, some of the evidences brought forward by Dr. Aluko on the issue of, first is that of the strike teams. He put it forward to us, and we cannot at the moment confirm how authentic these are, but then these are some of the evidences he has put forward. All right. Okay. Okay, this is perhaps, that's it there.
No, down. You will find out that that's the mixture. You find their names there. You find the unit they are representing, their telephone numbers, and their rank. And then down below, you find the names of those people that they were supposed to eat. I mean, the APC, eat not as in kill, okay, but just demoralize them, okay, detain them.
Why?
So that
what's the essence?
Once you take out the opinion leaders,
okay,
you take out the opinion leaders, you take out the cash they were about to give to their supporters. Then that is all, because the agreement we had with them, there were 44 teams, made up of about 11 per truck, Hilux vans, and they were supposed to have a contact person there. A contact person is somebody in PDP that's supposed to now show them where they were. Because before that time in May, we had 64 people coming together. Let's go to... Yes. Okay,
still talking about these strike teams.
Okay.
I wanted to expatiate because a lot of people, Nigerians, and a lot of people who are not Nigerians, who do not
brought 1,040 soldiers from under Brigadier Momo. And then a strong politician too. I saw that somebody said he's an Uba, but not Senator Uba, brought from Enugu another 400. And that's why the GOC is about losing his command. And because with that, we had more than enough to cage the whole state. What we did was to do to block all the routes into the state and to block all the APC control areas.
Okay,
just hold the strict movement.
All right, just hold it out, Dr. Aluko. I still have a lot of evidences that Dr. Aluko is bringing to the table here. He says he has evidences on how they strategize in blocking major areas in the state during that election. Those who are on the special list, according to him, and how they strategize in some special local government areas. Of course, funding of the funding template and how much was disbursed. Well, this is a special edition of Sunday Politics here on Channels Television. This program will go as long as we stretch so that you can get every bit of what we are talking about in these damning evidences that have been brought forward. It's not a one-sided conversation. It's going to be a balanced conversation. We bring in more perspectives, but just for a moment, we'll take a break right now, and we'll be back.